A series of pictures and videos allegedly released by Shanquella's mom have sparked huge interest in the fact that the pictures were of Shanquella and her best friends for the past 10 years. But strangely enough, those friends didn't know about Cabo 6.
For them to do what they did, ma'am, it just seemed like it was a plot because they couldn't have did that over here, ma'am. They couldn't have did that over here, where her friends, all her friends are.
This revelation brings about the fact that her death had been premeditated enough to get her out of the U.S. where her real friends were. Even her father had said that the Cabo 6 had planned on ending his daughter's life because they knew they couldn't have done what they did back in the U.S. Nearly 3 months ago, Shanquella Robinson died on a group trip with friends to Cabo San Lucas, Mexico at the age of 25. She went on a trip for her friend's birthday and the same friend brutally assaulted her and left her for dead. Now, on what would have been her 26th birthday, the Charlotte native's family honored her memory and claimed they were still in search of justice and answers. The event was hosted by Million Youth March of Charlotte and Salisbury at Beatty's Ford Memorial Gardens in North Charlotte, and dozens of people attended to release hundreds of balloons in Robinson's honor. The event was filled up with people claiming it was a birthday celebration for someone who touched so many. Shanquella's best friend, not the fake one. But her real best friend, Shanquella, was also in attendance, and she said she kept thinking about the memories she shared with her friend. Spring break, high school spring break, birthdays were her favorite, Shanquella said. People spoke about the times they spent together with Shanquella. Shanquella's godson took some of his first steps next to her grave, and Bobby Collins said Shanquella had wished to see his first steps for a long time. She was probably jumping for joy, Collins said, excited and happy and excited as ever. Shanquella, I love you. We will get justice for Shanquella no matter what. People came to the event to pay their respect to the girl who died young and who has yet to get the justice she deserves as her assaulters are roaming around scot-free. The Robinson family became Charlotte's family when this tragedy happened, Mario Lopez, one of the event's organizers, said, so ensuring and seeing the hashtags on social media is very important. Despite the drop of attention towards Shanquella's news, the public has been able to keep the story up and running to the point where it started to gain momentum as well. As Shanquella's family and close friends released balloons and placed flowers at her gravesite, her mother said, she's smiling down on us. We have good days and bad days, but we're out here to celebrate. She also touched on her daughter's ongoing case that is being treated as a homicide by Mexican authorities, saying, we have to try to stand strong for her. She would want us to be strong and keep on going. We're waiting to see, and I know it will happen. In God's time, it will happen. That's all I'm waiting on. Even before the balloon event, Shanquella had a memorial where dozens of friends, family, and community members gathered to celebrate her life. Her memorial service was held at the Macedonia Baptist Church with close friends and family members dressed in bright pink to honor Shanquella. At the start of the ceremony, community members gathered as a horse-drawn carriage led the colorful casket of Robinson inside of the church grounds. The service was moving and emotional as tears of joy were cried for Robinson's beautiful life. The service closed with a song associated with a crown as the choir sang. Ushers walked down the aisle placing a crown on Robinson's head before closing the casket and concluding the ceremony. While Shanquella's family was mourning their daughter, Cabo 6 were still enjoying their holidays with their families and no one had been arrested for questioning. The Associated Press reported in November that charges were filed against an unnamed female suspect and Mexican authorities were seeking the extradition of said suspect. However, no arrests have been publicized and Robinson's family is still awaiting updates from U.S. officials. The suspects fled from Mexico and went back to the U.S. knowing fully well that they had ended their friend's life and that they were the only people who knew what happened. Instead of coming out and letting Shanquella's story be told, they deleted their social media and lied about what actually happened. From the fact that the woman who was brutally hitting her is Dejani and she works in the health department, which means she could have helped Shanquella if she had wanted to, but she didn't. The same goes for Alice, another Cabo friend who is a health worker. Shanquella had also gone to the trip with her best friend, Khalil, who was supposed to have taken care of her, but instead he was the one calling Shanquella's family to lie about their daughter's death. Robinson was allegedly found unresponsive by the hotel maid, who called for a doctor, and despite the doctor's effort to revive her through CPR, she was declared dead. Shanquella's mother, Salamander, received a phone call from her daughter's best friend claiming Shanquella may have had alcohol poisoning. She grew suspicious considering a doctor had not examined her daughter yet. Salamander said Cabo told her that the doctor recommended the Winston-Salem State graduate be taken to the hospital, but the friends refused, stating the $5,000 fee was too expensive. Salamander then tried reasoning with them, telling them her daughter had insurance, but Cabo retorted that the facility only accepted cash. As Salamander grieved, she unexpectedly received an anonymous call stating, "They were over there fighting that girl. They were over there fighting her. I don't know why they keep talking about alcohol poisoning." When the friends visited Shanquella's home in Charlotte, North Carolina, her mother confronted the girls about the information she received. Instead of just telling the truth, they started crying, claiming there was no fight. They even had the guts to sit around the family planning on what they were going to wear to Shanquella's funeral. As Shanquella's family organized her funeral arrangements, they received the autopsy, and according to her death certificate, she died from a severe spinal cord injury and atlas subluxation, a dislocated neck. Shanquella passed away approximately 15 minutes after acquiring the aforementioned injuries, the report also stated. Cabo 6 initially claimed alcohol poisoning led to her mysterious death, but when the autopsy and footage surfaced on social media of a fight between two women, one of which was Shanquella, their lies were sold out. The video showed a naked woman being hit several times as onlookers, out of frame, urged Quella to fight back. Shanquella refused to fight back, and none of them ever stopped the fight. They just looked on, recorded, and watched as their friend's life faded away. Shanquella's father was disturbed after viewing the video of his daughter naked while being brutally hit over and over again. He claimed his daughter was not a fighter and that the friends should have done something about it when they realized the situation was getting worse. He said all 6 of them had an opportunity to stop that situation. Neither one of them didn't do nothing about it. What gives them the right to take a life? Didn't give her any kind of care. No help. I can just feel her suffering, ma'am, the last breath that she took out of her body. The Mexicans broke silence recently when they claimed that they were thoroughly investigating the case and had already issued an arrest warrant for one of the friends who attacked Shanquella. Officials cite the assault as a direct attack, not an accident. It's important for the community to continue to raise awareness and advocate to bring all of the persons who assaulted Shanquella to justice. The brutal and graphic video released showing the violent attack leading to Shanquella's death rocked many of us to our core. But Shanquella's family and community are unrelenting in seeing justice served. Shanquella's story has touched many beyond her Charlotte family. Her story has emerged as a cautionary tale for the company we keep. A fan on Twitter said, "We will march to the post office to mail letters of concerns to Mexico to help put pressure on them to make an arrest. We are asking everyone to bring your letters written and ready. The mailing address and pink envelopes will be provided the day of the event. #Justice for Shanquella." Another said, Shanquella Robinson went on a trip to another country with people she thought were friends. They beat her so badly on video that her spine was no longer connected to her skull by the time they were done. They are still free. #Justice for Shanquella. Anyways, let's not forget that this video is based on theories and my opinions and should not be considered facts. That's it for this video. Bye.